Yo, what's up, everyone? It's Tyler here from Aspire Sports, and we're doing some mock drafts per usual. Just waiting for this mock draft to fill up. So, if you're interested in doing some mock drafts, go get in the Discord, and we're going to be doing mock drafts here for the next hour and answering any fantasy football questions you have. So, let's go. All right, so we're waiting on this to fill up. This should fill up any minute here now. Just add everyone in my Discord and it'll fill up here super fast. And let me pull up the chat real quick for YouTube. Yo, what's good? Yo, what's up, Brian? How you doing, my guy? Are you worried about Trey Lance? Nah. How's it been, Tyler? Good. Yo, what's up, TJ? How you doing, my guy? How's everyone doing? And Ozai, no, I'm not worried about my boy Trey. Come on now. We ain't worried about Trey. We like Devontae Smith. I'm not a big fan of Devontae Smith, to be honest with you. Not really. No. The Discord's in progress, Kyle. Should I keep Javante? Yo, what's up? Can't guard Chuck, what's up? Should I keep Javante? Also, is James Conner worth keeping on the bench? I would keep Javante. I mean, it depends on like what exactly you're doing, where you're keeping these guys. I don't know what the keeper details are. I like Javante. Someone's tired. Be tired? I'm on the YouTube. Yes. Go over to YouTube. Live over on YouTube right now. You can check it out. Link is in the bio. Is Dave Montgomery good? David Montgomery? You mean David Montgomery? He's very mid in my opinion. Okay, here's my honest take. I think Dave Montgomery is a very average running back. He's lucky because he's heavily involved in the offense, especially the receiving game. But this Bears offense, I think, is going to be absolute dog water this year. So I'm not really interested in Dave Montgomery, to be honest with you. Are we putting CD in wide receiver rankings? CD is currently wide receiver 6 for me. Tyler, I need your opinion on this. Do I take Jamar at the 109 and then Kamara at the 202 10 team? I would. YouTube Tyler. Yo, YouTube Tyler. What's goody? Kyler with Inspire Sports is a stud. Kyler Inspire Sports. That dude is a stud. Yo, Ozai, you're just so funny, my guy. Mr. Dallas Cowboys. So if anybody's interested, I do have a draft guide. My draft guide is out. Draft guide link is in the bio. Over 20 pages of player rankings, also over 20 pages of written up content. Sutton or Judy? For me, Sutton. I'm a big fan of Cortland Sutton. All right, so Chad, this is what we're gonna try to do. Today we're gonna try some things. I've been trying to do a 0 wide receiver build from the 1-4 spot. I don't really like how the team turns out. But we might try it out here. Depending if Debo gets to us, we're gonna do it. If Debo does not get to us, then we're not gonna do it. Tyreek's, come on. Don't do it, Ozai. Don't do it. All right, so we're going with the 0 wide receiver or 0 RB build. We're gonna see how it turns out. So we got Cup and Debo. Let's go. James Conner, Travis Etienne, Travis Etienne. I'd rather go with Travis. Lenny or Kamara? Kamara for me. Mute your mic, dude. Opinion on Antonio Gibson. He's on my bench deciding about trading. I would definitely try to trade. I don't think Antonio Gibson has much value. But yeah, Antonio Gibson's rough right now. Tyler, bro, how you do? How you go live this many hours a day? You're a grinder. That's what I am. I gotta grind. I gotta try to pass you, Max. No, psych. I can't pass you. You're way too good for me, Max. Your videos are too good. But I gotta get my followers somehow. Except, everybody enjoys the content, right? Followers, right, Ryan? Ryan in chat. Yo, what's good, Ryan? But I would go with Kamara. Okay, here's the thing with Kamara is with Kamara, you have to decide for yourself, like, is it worth the risk? And I know a lot of people say, oh, they already said that he's not going to be suspended this year. We don't know that. But nobody knows that. It could be a late season suspension. We don't know. So you have to decide for yourself, is it worth the risk? There's a good chance that he probably doesn't get suspended this year, but there is a chance that a late season suspension happens. We don't know. So you have to decide for yourself whether or not it's worth the risk. And if you guys haven't already, do me a big favor, hit that follow button. If you're over on TikTok, hit that follow button. Also, like a couple of times. Appreciate you guys. What we're going to try to do right now is do a 0 RB build. David is good, but not the best option because his situation isn't good at all. Who are you talking? Dave Montgomery? I low-key think Devontae Parker will crush his ADP this year. I mean, Devontae Parker really hasn't done much in his career besides 1 year. I don't think he is. I like Jacoby Myers there. I just don't really like that offense as a whole. Kamara, Saquon, or Swift? For me, I have Kamara, or I have Saquon the highest. What site is this? This is Sleeper. Sleeper. I think it's the best fantasy site, especially for if you do dynasty leagues. I think it's the best site for dynasty. And what's nice about Sleeper too is that Sleeper, it's just everything can be done on Sleeper. There's a lot of customization options on top of you have a league chat, you have a DM system, so everything can be done on Sleeper. I really like Sleeper a lot. Thoughts on Elijah Mitchell? He's somebody I'm heavily avoiding this year. I just don't think it's going to happen with Elijah Mitchell. I think last year was really good, but like they draft Tyrion Davis-Price in the 3rd round. You have Trey Lance here now. We know Debo's kind of involved, especially the red zone area, a tiny bit, but just he's involved on the ground. But the biggest thing for him, he wasn't playing 3rd downs last year. So now we could lose possible short yardage situation to Tyrion Davis-Price, who's a bigger back, 220 pounds, 6 foot. So he could lose that. On top, it doesn't play 3rd downs and Trey. I think that Trey's the biggest problem here is that we know with rushing quarterbacks, they're involved in the red zone, especially as you're getting close around the goal line, they're a threat to score. So, and especially because that's kind of how Trey was used in the beginning of the last year, where he was kind of this gadgety type of player for the first couple of games there. They would get him in close and try to do some stuff, and I'm sure that's where they're going to do this year. For me, I'm totally avoiding Elijah Mitchell right now. Also, D Hop when he comes back. I don't mind D Hop where he's currently going. Honestly, I see him going like the 8th round sometimes. I take a shot on there. Think Javonte finishes top 10? I think he certainly has a chance, yes. I like Javonte. I think that there's a real chance that this could be a 70-30 split later in the season. I think as the season progresses, I think that Melvin Gordon will continuously kind of get phased out. And then they're going to try to keep Javonte Williams as fresh as possible down the stretch. And then once they get into like try to really push for the playoffs, I think Javonte Williams will slowly take over because I just think at that point in time he'll be a better back than Melvin Gordon at that point of his career. So I just think that as it may not happen right away, and a lot of people might be disappointed for where you get Javonte Williams, but I think as the season progresses, like he'll slowly become that guy. Cam Akers for me is a guy, I'm not going to lie, that's really hard this year to kind of gauge. Just because, who do I go here, chat? I think I'm going to go with, since I'm going the 0 wide receiver or 0 RB build, we're just going to go with Darren Waller here. And then we'll see who we got on the way back. Cam Akers. So Cam Akers kind of hard to gauge right now just because we know this offense is going to be so good. But just this now a lot of people say, oh, you don't really like James Robinson because he's coming off the Achilles. Yes. I mean, the Achilles kind of a killer right now for running backs. But the difference between him and Cam Akers is that Cam Akers is now officially a year removed from the Achilles injury. And he's also played football. He didn't look very good, but he's played football. So I think that at this point in time, Cam Akers is probably better with the injury than what James Robinson would be at this point in time. So I think a year removed, maybe he can have some of that explosive he once has. But the thing is, he's on a really good offense that's going to have plenty of scoring opportunities. So I like him. It's hard to hear me. Why is it hard to hear me? Breece Hall or Travis Etienne? Where'd Barkley go? Barkley went. Where did Barkley go? He went at the 203. Venom took it at the 203. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to get Patty Mahomes, eh? We're going to go Patty Mahomes in the 5th round. All right, so here we go. We got 0 RB build right here. Trying it out for the crowd, for the vibes. All right, Debo doesn't want as many touches. Mitchell is a clear number one to me, although Lance definitely takes runs away from him. Well, they said that they're going to use Debo in the best way to get that. What's his face already? Kyle Shanahan said that they're going to use Debo in the best way, in a way that gives the team the best way to win, or whatever he said. I don't know what his exact quote was, something like that. Tyler, my 12-team PPR league: Hurts, Najee, Travis, Etienne, wide receiver, CD. Najee, Hurts, CD, Deontay. Yeah, that's solid. I like that. I like that, Ryan. Javante, no, because he has to split with touches, but talent wise, definitely can. Switching it up here, early tight ends. That well, for me, I'm trying to just go 0 RB build. We're gonna see how it goes. Mike Williams, third rounds. Mike Williams, honestly, he does go third. Usually fourth round, but honestly has been going fourth round. Screen frozen? I don't think so. Sub Tyler, been a while. Just finished a 14-team league with Burrow, Swift, Dillon, Adams, Higgins, DJ Moore, tight end Hawkinson, right? 14-team league? I like that team a lot. That's a really good team. I'll give it like a solid 8.2. And do you guys get notified when I post on YouTube, like YouTube Shorts? Does it notify you guys that? Is Najee going to Denver? Come on, he's not going to Denver. When to draft quarterbacks? Honestly, if I'm not doing a 0 RB build, that's the only reason why I went with a quarterback early. Usually it's like 9, 10, and 11 is when I'm taking my quarterback. Usually I'll go with guys like for the next draft. I'm gonna do one more draft after this. For the next draft, I'm gonna legit draft how I would draft in a normal draft. For this one, I'm just kind of doing like I've been trying out some 0 wide receiver or 0 RB builds, seeing how I like it. We can't see the draft moving. Oh, the draft's not moving, Kyle. Hasn't moved. Every time I've done a mock, I've been avoiding Burrow. I don't like him for some reason. I don't really draft Burrow that much. Well, I don't really draft quarterbacks early. It's usually always I go later. For this one, I'm just doing a 0 RB build, but usually it's like Trey Lance, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. How do you? I missed that one. I'm sorry. Should I take Dalvin at the 107? Yeah, I mean that's usually where he goes. If you like that, then yeah. Hello from the Caribbean, by the way. Yo, I'm on a cruise. Hey, and yeah, I get notified anytime you're uploading anything. Okay. I know I don't do videos as much anymore. And the reason why I kind of don't do videos is like I look at guys like BDGE and Sal Vetri, those kind of guys, like their video quality is just so much better than mine. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit discouraging. But like I get just so many more views on the YouTube shorts, and I'm heavy in TikTok right now. So I kind of just put a lot of emphasis on that. All right, so we're gonna go with I really don't like Clyde here, but I'm gonna take the shot on Clyde in the 6th round. I'll take a shot. What do you think about the hero RB strat? That's the one I like the most. I don't really like 0.
Welcome back.
Honestly, I like for me, I'm just a big like. That's gonna be his 13th reason. Whose? um, first 2 picks, draft an 11. Draft an 11. Usually, I would go with like either Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, or go like DeAndre Swift and one of those wide receivers, Alvin Kamara, one of those wide receivers, or go Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift. Maybe even Saquon Barkley if you want in there as well. I would go Saquon over Kamara. So like you could go Swift, Barkley, Swift, Kamara, Barkley, or Devontae Adams, throw him in there as well. Stephon Diggs. Usually guys going around there. But yeah, the hero RB strategy for me is my favorite one. What do you think about Elijah Mitchell as a flex? I'm not really into Elijah Mitchell at all this year. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of wide receivers. Like, where did Elijah Mitchell go? He went 6th round, which I mean isn't too bad. But let's look at these guys. Definitely Chris Godwin over him. I mean, at that, I still would have went with like even Rashad Bateman over him. Um, it's not that bad though. Him there, I guess I would take him there. 6'3". He honestly went 6'3". That's pretty late. Opinion on Watson's suspension? Not much. I think that he should have gone more, to be honest with you. I think the NFL just was like, let's get rid of this thing. Let's just, kind of settle with the NFLPA instead of dragging this thing through legal court. And I think that's just what they did. I'm not really interested in any Browns players this year for fantasy football, though. Draft's not moving again. Do you like Diggs, then Saquon at the 11? Yeah, that's fine. I like that. I'd say deeper leagues definitely want to get that anchor RB. But feel free to experiment. Juju, Michael Thomas later in the draft. I'd rather go with Juju. But yeah, you can go. Yeah, I mean, for me, I would want at least one stud running back. I would want like my draft strategy is usually now for this one. Once again, I'm just trying to zero RB build, seeing how the team looks. But usually what I do is hero RB strat, where I just give one player one RB in the first 2 rounds that's a stud that I think legit has top 5 potential. That's my anchor guy, and then I'll do kind of like here's the problem with the zero RB, the robust RB, all those is that I just don't like taking a quarterback in a tight end early. Like I just don't like that. That's not what I like to do. I like to just punt the position there, get a guy super late. Like last year I had um Mike Gesicki, he got me through the first like 6 weeks of the season. He was so good during that time. And then later in the season, I don't even remember who I had on my roster at that point. I was just kind of streaming the tight end position. I think I actually had Zach Ertz, honestly. Later in the season, he did really well. So I just think that tight end position is kind of streamable, and that's what I would do personally. What's the website called? This is called Sleeper. Why would Najee have a meeting in Denver? I don't know, but I'm sure he's not going to Denver. DK or Terry McLaurin? Terry. My buddy has taken Mixon on the 105 in a 10-team league. Thoughts? That's a reach. Thoughts on Kamara, seeing how it's more and more likely he ain't getting suspended this year. I think that he's, for me, it's right when Saquon and CD go is kind of where I like him. Right after that, I'd even take him over Kelsey, but honestly, I've been seeing him go first round. To me, there's just other guys that I think have really high upsides as well. I think he's going to be a stud. Don't get me wrong, but just that kind of possible suspension, especially in the fantasy playoffs, just sits back there. You think Pitts has more opportunities for a touchdown this year? Yeah. I mean, he had more opportunities than Pat Fryermuth did last year in the red zone. Pat Fryermuth ended up with, I think, 7 touchdowns. Pitts with 1. Just unfortunate. Maybe he is a bad red zone, um, you know, receiver slash tight end, whatever you want to call him. That could be the case. I think it was kind of bad luck, but we'll see this year.
Just a crazy thing I saw last year. Guess how many touchdowns Eric Ebron had with the Steelers in
Uh,
total in his time there?
how many?
7. That's how many Freiermuth
Really?
had last year.
Should I take Diggs or Saquon first at 11? I'm nervous that I won't get those two on the way back, so I might have to take Swift instead of Saquon. What do you think? I have Saquon ahead of Swift this year, but it comes down to who you like the most. I don't think that there's a wrong answer there, Riley. Still high in ETM with Robinson looking expected to play week 1. Absolutely. I don't really care about James Robinson. I know a lot of people are worried about James Robinson. For me, I don't really give a shit about James Robinson. Here's why I don't care about James Robinson. Coming off the Achilles tear that he got the surgery in January. He's still not playing live snaps. I'm fairly sure he hasn't played a live snap against a real defense like tackling defense yet. I still don't think he's cleared for that. I think he was in on 7-on-7s. I don't think that they actually tackle. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's played against a live defense that's actually tackling him. So we're less than a month away. So the reason being why I don't really care about James Robinson is because number one, that I just don't think that he's going to be the player that he was in the past, coming off this Achilles injury and still not fully there yet. Number two, even if he is there, for me, with the best college receiving backs we've seen coming out of college for in a while, going to be playing on this offense on a team that should be playing behind a lot. I don't think this defense is going to be very good. Playing with this college quarterback, I that's why you like him. And I hate to compare him, but he's DeAndre Swift of last year. That's why you like Travis ETN or can possibly some. Look, I don't care. Play all the receiving work. He'll see all the receiving work over him. So I don't really care that James Robinson's coming back. To be honest with you, doesn't really change my opinion. All right, 9th round. You know, I just so overlook Cordell Patterson. Like I don't even care about Cordell. Is that bad? Is that bad? Chat. How do you feel about Chris Olave? Here he's on pace. Honestly, for where Chris is going, me. I for where Chris Olave, I don't really care. I'd rather have Sky Moore. Kamara Saquon. For me, I'd rather have Saquon. I just know that Saquon's gonna be playing for sure. I mean, it's terrible. You like Penny at all with Kenneth having that operation? No, I like Penny a lot. I mean, Kenneth Walker just got surgery. He just got um hernia surgery. So chances are Kenneth Walker's not going to be ready for a bit. So yeah, I like Penny. Penny's definitely the guy there. Kyle Pitts or Mark Andrews? I definitely don't like Mark Andrews for where he's currently going. I'd take Kyle Pitts over him. For where Kyle Pitts, like 4-2, Kyle Pitts went at 4-2. Mark Andrews at 3-1. No shot am I taking Mark Andrews at 3-1. I'd rather have Kyle Pitts at 4-2. If you told me 3 years ago you're debating taking Saquon or Kamara at the end of the first round, I'd slap you. Yeah, that's how things change there. Cook or Henry? I'd rather have Henry, I guess. I really don't like Derrick Henry this year. I'm not gonna lie. Not a huge fan. Show the other side. I mean, it's kind of hard. There's the other side. There's this side. There's that. There's some more that you can see.
One second, guys. Tyler's having some issues here. He's gonna come right back. Just give it 1 second. Okay. Talk.
All right.
Yep, there we go.
Could you scroll up? I mean, I can go like that. I mean, that's how it is. All right, so let's see here. I'm on the clock now. Let me take. We went Madison. We're gonna go with. I don't really like any of these guys here. I'm gonna go with Isaiah Spiller. In the 10th round, right? Like, why take Patrick Mahomes early? And I get it. Oh, he could maybe be quarterback one. I really don't think that Patrick Mahomes this year is going to be quarterback one. Really has a legit chance to be. I really don't think he will. So like, why take Patrick Mahomes in the 5th round when literally like Matthew Stafford is still there, Derek Carr is still there, Kirk Cousins is still there. Like, why waste a pick on one of those guys? Like on Stafford, you know. Kyler Murray. When you could get like Hollywood, you could get Juju Smith-Schuster. Like I'd rather Deontay Johnson. I'd rather get. This isn't super flex, so like in a one quarterback league, I take all those guys over Mahomes. If it's between Henry and Najee at 107, who you taking? I'd probably go with Henry, but I wouldn't feel great about it. It's crazy how a few months ago people were saying to take Henry top 3 picks. Now sometimes he's fallen in the first. Yeah, I really don't like it. You undervalue Swift. How do I undervalue Swift? I mean, he's RB9 for me. And just because he has, my issue with him is that the overwork with him with Derrick Henry. And I know people will say, "Oh, he's built different, this and that." I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like if you get overworked, you're overworked. So let's see. Who we taking here? I'm just gonna take Chase Claypool. You know, in the 11th round, I'll take my shot on him here. So far, that's what the squad looks like. I'm not a huge fan. I really don't like zero RB strategies. Like what I would personally do is kind of like a hybrid. It probably wouldn't even be considered zero RB, but like in the 3rd round, I definitely would have taken T Higgins. If I had like these two guys as my wide receiver 1, I probably would have taken my RB1 like a Travis Etienne. Honestly, I would have been okay with that. I would not have went with Darren Waller. I would have went with like probably Deontay Johnson, Hollywood, one of those guys here. And then at the turn, went with, honestly, if Juju was still there, go with him, MT, and then just draft a quarterback late is what I would have done. I don't like zero RB. Explain why. Please explain why. What? Please explain why you think Saquon will be good. Because Saquon, here's the thing with Saquon is that he's an every down player, uh, a, a very good running back, extremely athletic, a year removed from the ACL. I do think that team's going to be a little bit better than what they have in the past with the addition of the head coaching staff. They also made a couple additions to the offensive line. Evan Neal, and then somebody else is there. I forget who they got. They got someone from the Patriots. Forget who it was. So you have those guys there. Now, I don't think the offensive line is going to be great by any means, but still, like Saquon's just a stud, and he's going to play every single down and has a large upside in terms of the receiving game. How you get that on the computer? This is over on Sleeper. We'll be in the Discord in a minute. All right, so who we got here? I'm gonna go with Khalil Herbert. Khalil. All right, that's what the squad's looking like so far. We went the zero RB build. I really don't like zero RB, but I was like, we're doing it for the vibes. We're doing it for chat. Do you think Travis Etienne will fall to me round 3, 11 spot? I mean, possibly. A lot of people are kind of like, the problem with Travis Etienne is that you're gonna have a guy like me, possibly a guy like me in chat, where like if I'm sitting middle round, Travis Etienne is not getting past me. But then you have a lot of other people that are definitely worried about Travis Etienne, where he probably will fall, like he should fall there. But all it takes is that one person, like a me, it takes a Tyler to take him in the middle 2nd round or middle 3rd round, and you're not getting him. Even early 3rd, I would take him. I don't even care. Fair enough on the Saquon explanation. Yeah, I mean, like what it comes down to with Saquon is that, I mean, he's a generational talent at the running back position, generational athlete, who's an every down player, like that, like a true one of the very few true bell cow running backs in the NFL anymore. So with legit, 50 plus reception upside. Like to me, you just don't fade that guy. Not that guy because he's coming off a significant lower body injury, and there was a lot of worry that he wouldn't be like guys that aren't currently ready for the season right now. To me, are big red flags because what usually happens is those guys just aren't right during the season. What if they're not healthy right now? They're not playing in the preseason, and they're coming off a significant lower body injury. These guys usually don't do that well. That season. And like a lot of people say, well, you like Travis Etienne. Why don't you like James Robinson? Because Travis Etienne has been cleared for months now. Like he's been fully cleared, a full go for months. Like I'm not worried about the foot. If the foot was an issue, we'd already be seeing it, being an issue. It's not an issue right now. But James Robinson still has yet to do anything. Like not anything. He's not playing against a real defense. So like for me, when it comes down to these injuries, if guys aren't playing right now, if they're not actually like doing everything, then I'm concerned. Like it's a bit concerning for guys who are coming off of significant lower body injuries. If you had pick one, would you take ETN at the 2-3 turn? I would really think about it. Depends on who's there. All I hear is ETN on here. Good thing I got Robinson also. I want to take Robinson. Ugh. It takes a Tyler to burn down a whole village. I'm going to burn down the village if Travis Etienne doesn't do well this year. I'm going to have everybody coming back at me. Yo, you're that guy that loved Travis Etienne so much, aren't you? They'll literally forget everything else I said. I could have made like 10 good calls throughout the year, but the one thing that will haunt me is the Travis Etienne. This year in social media, in the social media space, my year is going to be made or broken, whatever. Is going to make is going to be a make it or break it year for me because of Travis Etienne. If Travis Etienne flops, a lot of people next year will just remember me because of the Travis Etienne. So I got a lot riding on Travis Etienne this year. I have a dilemma. What do you think at the 11, Saquon for my first pick, then reach on Diggs, or Diggs first pick and then try to reach on Saquon? I mean, I don't think either one of them is a reach. I think that they should go around there. I would just take whatever player you want the most. Is it Stephon Diggs or Saquon Barkley? Like whoever you want the most out of those two guys, I would take. All right, we're on the clock here. We're just looking for some backup running backs at this point. We're gonna go with Tyrion Davis-Price. Get that back up there. A guy that I think can be a legit backup. You want to take Robinson 11th if you had Travis? I mean, I really don't think that Robinson's going to be that guy. Now, if you think that he could be, then, go for it. I really just don't think that he's going to be that guy anymore. You will have to make a new TikTok of Travis Etienne. I will have to do that. You're doing another mock after this? Yeah, I'm going to do one more after this. Then we're going to call it a night. Maybe go live on TikTok a little bit later. I'm just grinding TikTok right now is what I'm doing. Today, I think I posted like 6 times today, which is a lot. I mean, to me, I honestly want to try to post 8 times.
Yeah, you didn't get 8. You're a chump, man.
A lot of people just post 1 time, yet I feel bad. I'm like, I kind of beat myself up when I don't post 8 times. And it's like, man, that is a lot. Posting 8 times, especially this time of the year, because I'm not going to lie. Like when I go live, I'm just repeating myself a lot. I literally say the same shit the entire time. And like new people come in and out and they'll say, "Hey, how do you feel about Nick Chubb?" I'll talk about him for a minute. 5 minutes later, somebody will come in. How do you feel about Nick Chubb? Literally repeat myself. Like all this, like this time of the year, when I've been talking about this shit, honestly, since like March, I'm just like repeating myself and I'm just so ready for the season to start. So it's like a lot of recycled stuff that I just keep saying. So I'm just so ready for the season to start. Please, NFL, come here fast because I'm ready. I'm ready for, Monday, you got waiver wire. Tuesday, you got just different things you can do on Tuesday. Tuesday's kind of waiver wire too. But then you got Wednesday, kind of get into start and sits. You can talk DFS. Then Thursday, really start hammering on the start and sits. Start talking about DFS, parlays, that kind of stuff. So I'm just so ready for the NFL season to start. 10-team league. Who are you taking for the first 2 picks? 10-team league for the first 2 picks? First 2 picks for me would be CMC and Jonathan Taylor, if that's what you mean. I'm not sure if you mean like you mean exactly. I'm sorry. I don't know if you mean like your first 2 picks, like who you would take. All right. I'm gonna get another one going here. Get another one going. Let's see. All right, TikTok. I'm gonna in the live stream and reboot it. Jeez, I just posted it. Everybody's already joining in. I'm gonna take the second spot and see how it works. So TikTok, I'm gonna end the live stream. I'll be right back. BRB tickety talk, and YouTube. Just one moment while this draft is filling up here. Just sent the link to everybody. So if you're in the Discord, which YouTube, if you're not in the Discord yet, go get in the Discord. Link is in my bio. We do a bunch of mock drafts. And there's over nearly 5,000 people in there now. So go check it out. Link is in the bio. All that kind of fun stuff. I'm here fast. Totally not going to get taken out of context. Definitely need the beard back. Nah, I look like a child. Wait, my bad. 10-team league. Who you taking at 10 spots? First 2 picks. Okay, so 10-team league, 10 spot, first 2 picks. Who I would go is okay, so it depends on whoever you like. If you like, say, Saquon, Swift, and go those 2 guys, maybe you want to go with like Stephon Diggs, Saquon, or Swift. That's fine as well. Maybe you want to go with Travis Kelce. I don't think that there's a wrong start. Like probably what I would do is get like Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, one of those 2, and pair him up with like Saquon or Swift. Or there could be a chance where Jamar Chase is there. Like I would take Jamar Chase. So it just depends on who you want. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Live over on YouTube. You're able to see the full draft board. Link is in the bio. Take Dak. Yeah. I hear you describe everything. You like Saquon. I see a lot of the qualities in Breece Hall. So here's the difference between here's what's holding me back from being totally on like Breece Hall. Like I love Breece Hall. And especially for like Dynasty, I love Breece Hall. I mean, he's my RB4 or RB5 in Dynasty. The issue for Breece Hall for redraft is that I don't know if he's going to play on third downs. Like I really do think that Michael Carter is probably going to be involved in third downs, which is going to be kind of a Nick Chubb-esque situation here. Josh Jacobs for Breece. Now I think that Breece is much better than Josh Jacobs. I think that Breece has the potential to be one of the best running backs in the NFL. But the issue is, does he play on third downs? And if he doesn't play on third downs, then you're just kind of getting an early down grinder that has touchdown upside on what should be. I don't think this offense probably going to be very good this year. So that's the issue. I don't think that Saquon. I think that Breece Hall and Saquon are way different because the thing with Saquon is we know he's going to play every single down. We know that there's legit 60 catch upside with Saquon Barkley. I don't think that exists with Breece Hall unless something happens to Michael Carter, unfortunately. Yo, appreciate the chicken legs, my guy. Thank you very much. But I love Breece Hall. Don't get me wrong. I love Breece Hall. Yeah, I'm liking Barkley for my second round pick, pairing him with Mixon, one Swift. Who would you choose? I'd rather go. So if it's full point PPR, I'd rather go Swift. Otherwise, Mixon. I take Swift for receiving upside. Yeah, like if it's full point PPR, then Swift. Otherwise, I'd probably go with Mixon just because that offense should be really good. Pacheco, Isaiah Pacheco, let's go, baby. All right, I took CMC with my second overall pick. I've been taking wide receivers all day, kind of going like zero RB kind of strategies. For this draft, I'm going to be doing I'm going to try doing like a robust RB strategy. 11th spot is you don't like I love the 11th spot. Like that start right there. Devontae Adams and DeAndre Swift. I love that start. I love having a later pick. I'm not going to lie. Like the issue for me is picks 1 through 4. I love the early start, but like I don't know what it is with the later picks. I just feel like even the third and fourth rounds are really good for the later picks. I'm just a guy who's big on like Mike Will, Hollywood Brown, Cortland Sutton. Like a lot of people are kind of on the fence about those guys. I love those guys, and I usually get them there. Lance or Russ? Lance. Just worried about Swift because he really didn't have a crazy last year, to be honest. I mean, he did in the beginning part of the year. He was RB5 for the first 12 weeks, and that was on an offense that averaged the second lowest points, second fewest points per game last year was 16. So he was RB5 and not really scoring touchdowns. He's mainly because of his receiving upside. Gods are straight goofy goobers. Why is that? Are they in here? I didn't even realize. Fantasy is like stock market. You see the mood of the draft and grab your sheet. I agree. Things change during the draft for sure. Let's go Javonte, baby. I do have Leonard Fournette higher though, but we're getting Javonte. I got Jamar Chase and DeAndre Swift at the 12 turn in my league. That's absolutely beautiful. How high do you have AJ Dillon? I think AJ Dillon's like RB 23 or something, right around there. All right, so we got. I do have T the highest, but what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna draft this a little bit differently. I'm gonna go Tyreek. I'm just gonna try Tyreek. I rarely draft Tyreek. I'm gonna see how my team looks. Would you draft a kicker last? I wouldn't even draft a kicker, honestly. Give me JJ or Cup at 4 any day. I agree. A team that didn't win till week 11 last year as well. Yeah, they started winning, honestly, after DeAndre Swift got hurt. And then they were averaging, I believe it was 24, 26 points per game down the stretch when they were actually winning. Detroit was. You go G. You going RB at the 12 turn? I would. Yeah, so why I love ETN is because I envision like DeAndre Swift-esque player here. Where here's the thing. A lot of people always say this. Oh, this running back's in a committee. Like, why do you like him? Listen, majority of running backs nowadays are committee running backs. Okay, what you want out of your running back in that committee is you want the running back who's going to be involved in the passing downs and involved in the red zone. That's what you want from your running backs. I do believe that Travis Etienne will be involved, number one, for sure, in the receiving game. All right, for sure. He'll be the main receiving back on this team, on a team that's probably going to have to pass the ball a lot because they're not going to be very good this year. I do think they could be like maybe six wins this upcoming season, but they're going to have to pass the ball a lot. Number two, I do think that he could be involved in the red zone. Now, maybe James Robinson is the featured goal line back for this team. Could be. But think about when you're down by 2 touchdowns and you're trying to get garbage time, who's going to probably be in there? It's probably going to be Travis Etienne, just playing in that 2-minute offense. So for me, I look at Travis Etienne very similar to DeAndre Swift last year. Massive receiving upside. Everybody was worried about Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams really wasn't that big of a factor when DeAndre Swift was healthy. Like, I think it's very similar to that. What's going to happen here? Yeah, there's like 4 true bell cows nowadays. Like, majority of your backfields are committee backfields. What happens is this is a sleeper. I was very sick with tonsillitis. Well, I hope you're better, Angelo. Agreed on ETN, but he limits on his blocking in the red zone if they believe long term he's not good blocking. Yeah, I mean, it comes down to kind of how he is on third downs, which I just think that. Okay, here's the thing with Travis Etienne too. I think at this point in his career, with the injury to James Robinson, Travis Etienne is by far the most explosive player in this backfield. He's probably, honestly, at this point of his career, better than James Robinson in this backfield. Has a first-round pedigree. James Robinson was undrafted for a reason. And a reason why James Robinson wasn't drafted is because he had a massive workload in college. Like, he's one of the highest touch running backs, has one of the highest touches in the NFL. Even though he's played how many years now? 2 or 3? 2 years, right? Now this will be his 3rd year. Because of his college workload, he had a bunch of touches in college. So I do think that factors in, especially coming off a torn Achilles now with a bunch of touches, coming off a torn Achilles. Like, I just don't think that he's going to be that player that he once was. And I love James Robinson. Don't get me wrong. I love James Robinson. I thought he was a really good football player, but I just don't think he's going to be that guy once again. Now, maybe you disagree. That's fine. Agree to disagree. It don't matter. For me, I love Travis. I think that Travis can be that guy. 99 athletic score. One of the only few backs, other guys that he's in company with are like Najee Harris, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall. Like, those are guys that he's in company with. So extremely athletic, extremely explosive, really good receiving back, playing with his college quarterback. Sign me up. Travis Etienne, 100% league winner. I agree. You took Taysom? No, I'm not taking Taysom. I took Tyreek. Taysom Hill. All right, so I'm sitting here. I'm a Steelers fan, so passing up on Deontay is tough. Damn it, Allen Robinson went that early. I'm probably gonna go. I know that either I'm gonna go Deontay. We'll see what happens here. When you take an ETN in a 10-team league, I probably take him late third. I'm nervous about Cam Akers. I'm a little nervous for Cam Akers too. I'm not gonna lie, but I think that he's kind of a high risk, high reward type of player as well because just how good that offense can be this year. I think he has a big upside as well. A-Rob is mine. You did take A-Rob. Okay, so that worked out perfectly. I bet he would have maybe taken Deontay. Now I get Marquise. All right, so I like this. I like the squad so far. At what point you look for J.K. Dobbins? Honestly, like late. I wouldn't have won J.K. I think that J.K. just for me, there's like too many red flags with J.K. I really didn't even like him last year prior to his injury. I don't really like him this year. I just not a fan. Should have taken Kittle. Yuck. I don't want a tight end this early. I'm not taking a tight end. I'm not taking a tight end or a quarterback until late in my draft. Where do you have Devontae Adams ranked 5th? In wide receiver rankings, that is. And what's up, everybody? How's everybody's evening doing? If you haven't already, do me a big favor, hit that follow button. Go check out the draft guide. Link is in the bio. There's over 20 pages of written content, over 20 pages of player rankings. So go check it out, especially if you're newer to fantasy football. I think that it would be a big help for you this year in fantasy. Go check it out. Link is in the bio. Hit that follow button as I post fantasy football content every single day. I go live every single day. Answering fantasy football questions, especially as we get closer to the season. Go join the Discord. Link is in the bio where there's over almost 5,000 people. Imagine that. 5,000 people. I don't even think my local arena fits 5,000 people. So there's over 5,000 people in my Discord right now. So go check it out. There's a bunch of people in there that answer questions throughout the day, give their takes on fantasy football. It's a fantasy football community. Go get in it. You think I went RB heavy on my picks? You did, but I mean, I like your running backs, and you got a stud wide receiver one, Ozai, so I like it. Waddle, Deontay, or Marquise? I have Marquise higher in my rankings. I go Marquise. It's close between him and Deontay. That's the two I would want. Brandon Cooks or Cortland Sutton? Cortland Sutton for me. Yo, appreciate the rose. Thank you very much. And to anybody else that has given me gifts that I haven't seen because I'm trying to focus on the draft. I appreciate you all. And thank you to everybody that's been hanging out, you know? You all the real MVPs. Hanging out, taking time out of your day, talk fantasy football. Thank you all. All right. And appreciate to whoever gave me the roses. I'm not sure if that was John. Jamar Chase fell to me the 12s. I got him in Swift. That's absolutely ridiculous. I love it. That's such a great start. Curry or fried rice? I do like curry. I think curry's really good. We have a place by my house, a Thai place. And appreciate you. We reached the goal. We got the roses. Thank you very much. We have a Thai eatery by my place. It's called Thai Eatery, and they have curry, Thai curry. I know that curry. I think it's kind of like Indian as well. Like I think that they're different. But I really like the curry here, and you get like spice level up to 5. I get 5. It's really really hot, but it's delicious. I love curry. I definitely want to join one of Tyler's leagues. All right, go get in the Discord. I don't know if you're saying that because you think I'm drafting bad. I don't really care. But if you want to get in one, go get in the Discord. Link is in the bio. All right, so next we're gonna go with what round we in? We're in round 6. This is kind of where I don't really like any of these guys. See, this is the problem, right? This is my problem with having this late, like an early round pick. I just love the later picks for some reason. All right, so here, honestly, I really don't like any of these guys. Oh, gosh. with Rashad Penny, with Kenneth Walker getting his surgery, I think Rashad Penny is the undisputed number one in this offense now. So I'm going to take him here on top of taking Chase Edmonds. Why is Jefferson second overall? He went third overall. Just love the play. Yeah, go get in the Discord. I'm going to be running pizza or wings. Oh boy, that's so hard. Oh, that sounds weird. I would rather go with man, I do love chicken wings. I probably just take pizza though. I just feel like you can't go wrong with some pizza pie. Also, chicken wings are like crazy expensive right now. So I'd probably that has to factor in a little bit. You know, it takes a slight hit to the chicken wings because they are really expensive right now. So I'm going to factor in the pizza, a little bit more affordable. Yeah, I'll take pizza. See, that's what we do here. We talk also real life stuff. Kittle or Waller? I'd rather have Waller, to be honest with you. Just that offense going to be way more. Appreciate the what is that? Like confetti? Yeah, appreciate that. Never gotten that one before. Thank you, my dude. I didn't even see Jeremy. Jeremy, thanks for the confetti, my guy. What's the draft strategy for taking Jay Jettis in the first round? Is Lenny or Javonte good RB1? Yeah, I think both of them are good RB1s. Yeah. Been mock drafting all night. Yeah, I honestly, this has been a long. I've done a lot of mock drafts today. I think it has to be. Let's see. We can check it out right now. Let's see how many mock drafts we've done. Sleeper completed. So this is all 9 hours, 10 hours. All right. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the 9th one. This is the 9th one I've done. It's been a long day of drafting. Najee had 2. Ooh, I probably wouldn't, but hey, if you like Najee, I mean, you're not going to get your guy. And appreciate. I didn't see what that was. I didn't see what you sent. I'm sorry. Oh, it's Center Rose. Appreciate you, John. Thank you very much. Best third round value. It depends on your draft, right? So for me, Travis Etienne, if I get him at 310, absolutely ecstatic about that. Cam Akers 311, I honestly like that. AJ Brown 3.7, I like that. Even T Higgins at 3.3 is solid. Appreciate the glasses. Look at these gifts coming in. Thanks guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Etienne or Evans? Mike Evans, I'd rather go with Mike Evans. Mixon or Saquon? Mixon for me. Just better offense. But I do love Saquon. Don't get me wrong. Love Saquon. Go-to food when watching football on Sunday? Usually pizza. Honestly, I usually get pizza. But this year, I don't really much. I'm not going to lie. I don't really eat while I'm watching football. I know, like, if it's a big game, like if I go to like my parents and because my whole family's Steelers fans. So if it's like a Monday night football game, like we'll go there and we'll make dips, and we'll watch the game, buffalo chicken wing dip, all that kind of stuff. I guess I would say chips, just because chips are easy, down them. Pizza, got to be ready in time. Then it's like, oh, now it's 12:40, and I got the pizza. I can't wait until 1:00. I'm impatient as shit. So I'm going to eat this pizza, or the pizza's late. Now you're pissed off because you got to leave the games and go pick up the pizza. I can never just work out the time legit. So I just get chips. I can open them up while the game's starting, snack on them. Don't feel like hating myself because I just ate a whole pizza. You feel? Explanation 0 RB. So 0 RB. What exactly do you want to know about it? So basically what you do, it limits your exposure to running backs in the early rounds because running backs are so what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, they're just injury prone, right? The most injury prone position in all of football. So it's so hit or miss. So you're just limiting your risk to that, and you're targeting wide receivers while also getting like a kind of a positional guy at the wide or at the tight end position, in quarterback position, and then you build your running backs because the one position that's really replaceable in fantasy football is honestly your RB2 spot, just because of how many injuries happen, how many guys you're able to start throughout the season. um, Here I'm gonna just go with Dallas Goedert. To be honest with you, I'm just gonna get Dallas Goedert here. Allen Robinson or Juju? Allen Robinson. Why are people fading Josh Jacobs? Early down grinder. No receiving upside. Anyone know what the website he's on right now? The website is Sleeper. I'm not a big fan of zero RB. I'd rather go with the hero RB because here's the thing in fantasy football, right? Your wide receivers need to hit. Now, a lot of times we know who your top wide receivers should be, right? We have a good sense of who they should be. Like your Devontae Adams, chances are he's going to finish inside the top 10 maybe this year. I mean, last year we definitely knew he was going to. Tyreek Hill. But why I suggest the hero RB is because since 2014, all but one running back. I mean, basically, if I think it was 2015. So if you just move it up a year, 2016, every single year your running back is taken in the first 2 rounds of your fantasy football drafts. And I think that like if you're able to land the top running back in fantasy football, it's obviously a massive advantage. So is landing, Cooper Kupp last year, your wide receiver one. But 100% of the time since 2016, your RB1 is being drafted in the first 2 rounds. So try to get that guy that you do think has legit RB1, the RB1 overall potential. Grab that guy and then just start kind of going wide receivers, start stockpiling wide receivers, and then wait a little bit for your RB2 because once again, your RB2 is one of the most interchangeable positions in all of fantasy with how many injuries happen, how many guys you're able to pick up, plug and play kind of guys. Pasta or tacos? Oof, I'm Italian, so I might have to go with pasta there. Handcuff or running backs? I would not handcuff your running backs. Nah. Nah, Rashad, yes. Yes, that's exactly it. Rashad Penny won your league because of injuries. And that's how it works towards the end of the season. Like you're able to pick up running backs. That's why I think if you're going to do a zero RB build, I don't think that there's a wrong way to do it. For me, I just like to do like more value based drafting where I punt the quarterback position, I punt the tight end position until later in the drafts because it just doesn't hold the value that having, a top 5 guy at the wide receiver position, a top 5 guy at the running back position has, because you can start 3 of those guys on a week to week basis, maybe even 4 if you have 3 wide receivers in a flex or 2 flex spots. So you can start 4 of those guys compared to 1 quarterback and 1 tight end in your 1 quarterback non-premium leagues, tight end premium leagues. So to me, it's all about drafting RBs early, wide receivers early, kind of RBs in the middle rounds, like 6, 7, 8, like kind of how I did. I feel good about Rashad Penny. I feel good about Chase Edmonds, Melvin Gordon. I think he has decent upside. Oh, wait, I didn't even realize that. I did handcuff. If I was paying, honestly, when I talk and draft at the same time, sometimes it's hard to pay attention. So I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have handcuffed him if I was paying attention a little bit more. That's my bad. 10-team league, 10. Are you okay with taking Swift, Saquon, and then taking a wide receiver, and then ETN if he's there? Yes. No, I like that strategy. Wide receivers will be a little weak. It's okay because in 10-team leagues, you'll be able to get a lot of middle round wide receivers who will be really good this year. Do you like Juju on the Chiefs? I love Juju. Bozo move, handcuff. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't paying attention. RIP. Yeah, I would punt tight end. In my opinion, I would just punt tight end in a non-tight end premium league. How you took? Oh, was Ertz still on the board? Oh, I didn't even realize Ertz was still on the board. See, that's another thing I wasn't paying attention. Damn it. Oh well. All right, so here I'm gonna go with Darrell Henderson, and then I'm gonna pay attention for these next 2 picks. And then I'll probably go my quarterback one. See, like Matthew Stafford's still on the board. Derek Carr's still on the board. Even Kirk Cousins is still on the board. Like, that's why for me, just wait. Wait on quarterbacks. I'm fine with any one of those guys as my QB1 this year, while trying to hit on other positions and having better positional value than my other guys that took quarterbacks early. Yo, bro, quick question. I had the second pick. I would go with CMC, JT, Cooper Kupp, or Jay Jettis. I took Josh Allen the 5th in the first round of the 2-quarterback league. No, like 5th round? Okay, so yes, let me say this. If you get Josh Allen in the 5th round, now that's fine, right? Taking Josh Allen in the 2nd round for me, not fine. Taking Josh Allen 3rd, nah. Now, like late 4th, I probably still would take Josh Allen. Definitely in the 5th, I would 100% take Josh Allen. Now that's good value, right? Because then the tiers kind of start to drop off for wide receivers and especially running backs in the 5th round. No shot I'm taking a running back in the 5th round. But like wide receivers, the tiers drop off a little bit. So yeah, I would definitely go, Josh Allen in the 5th for sure. Fournette and Javonte and why? Honestly, I have Fournette higher. I don't really like to even take Tyreek. I just kind of built this team differently than what I usually do. But Fournette, and the reason why is just because like I feel strongly that he'll be the guy in that offense. One of the few bell cow running backs in the league. But I will say if you're on the fence about both of them, go with the younger guy. Javonte Williams, I think he's 22 years old. Fournette's 27, a bunch of touches as well throughout his entire career from the pros to college. So a lot of work. 27 years old, not very explosive. So if you're really torn between the two, I would just go with the younger guy. What's your go-to all or nothing strategy if you're dependent on it? Go-to strategy, running backs heavy. I would go running back heavy in the first 3 rounds. I'll say this. Like what I like to do is try to grab a stud wide receiver, a guy who I think could be a surefire top 10 kind of guy. And then go to stud running backs and then go kind of skip out on the RB dead zone. I know the RB dead zone is kind of like rounds 3, could be 3 through 6, 3 through 7. I think that there's a couple RBs in rounds 3, maybe 4 that I would take. And then I would skip out and go wide receivers in the RB dead zone and then just go my quarterback and tight end late. Thoughts on Team 9? What would you change up? Team 9. No, nothing. I thought you drafted pretty well. I was looking at your draft. I probably wouldn't have taken Dameon Pierce that early, but hey, that's fine. I think your team's solid. I like the wide receivers a lot. Plus, you got Kyle Pitts. I think the team looks good. Thanks, man. Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, not trying. Yeah, no, you're good. Not trying to annoy you. Can you see what I said? Let me go up. In a keeper league, I got a question. Keep Debo round 12. Eckler second. Is it clear keep your Debo? I would go Debo, yeah. In round 12, yeah. Thoughts on Darnell Mooney this year? I like Darnell Mooney. Here's the issue with Darnell Mooney. It depends on where exactly he goes. But like, okay, so right here, at this point in the draft, oh shoot, I got auto-picked. Dang it. I'm definitely changing that up. We're going with we're just going to take Jalen Tolbert here. So what was I saying? Darnell Mooney. So like right there, yeah, that's fine. Like for me, sometimes he goes around Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'd rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Kind of sometimes goes around like Juju. Much rather have Juju. So there's a couple of guys that I'd much rather have. Thoughts on Derrick Henry at the 101? No, I'm not. I'm out. Thoughts on Waddle or Mostert? Oh shoot, hold on. I'm on the clock again. I need to pay attention. We're gonna go with Mark Ingram in case Kamara does get suspended. Thoughts on Raheem Mostert for a handcuff for Edmonds? No, I don't like Raheem Mostert. I think he's dust. I'd rather have Sony Michel. Thoughts on Derrick Henry 101? No. What was the other question? I missed it. Oh, Waddle or Mostert? Okay, so Waddle, I just feel like he kind of goes a little bit too early for me. Like 4.9's not too bad, but I'd rather have Deontay Johnson, honestly, Jerry Jeudy, Marquise Brown over him. Honestly, I'd rather take Juju Smith-Schuster. I'd rather take all those guys, MT over him. So I'm just not a fan of Jalen Waddle this year just because of Tyreek being there. And then Raheem Mostert, I just have no interest whatsoever in Raheem Mostert. What's your opinion on the 5th pick in the 12-team league? 5th pick in a 12-team league. It's not bad. It just depends on who's there. Like if Cooper Kupp's there, I'd definitely take him. Shades of beer in the beginning of the season. Cowboys win. Yo, you think that's gonna happen, Ozai? Come on now. Do you like Diggs or Devontae more this year? I like Diggs a little bit more. Just better quarterback is the big reason there. Do you think Myles Gaskin could finish as the RB1? No, I don't think so. Wait, if what? Oh, Chase Edmonds. I mean, maybe. I would say Sony Michel. I'd rather have Sony Michel. I think at that point it's just a full blown committee. I don't know who I would want. Why take Henderson or Gordon? You aren't playing them. Take a quarterback. No, because I got Matthew Stafford. Like, I'll gladly take Stafford there. I think that Stafford could score just as many points as Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Now, Trey Lance is different. I wish I would have taken Trey Lance. I would have loved to have Trey Lance. But no, those guys, I think they have massive upside if something happens to the starter. Where should Lazard go? Right around where he goes. I think it's like round 9 is usually where he's going, right? Where's Allen Lazard? Where did he go in this draft? Yeah, he went round 9. Round 9's fine. Who are the teams that utilize their RBs as 3-down backs? Not many. It just kind of depends on who they are. There's not many teams though, honestly. I do think that's kind of why I'm like so on the fence with. That's kind of why I'm like so on the fence with Cam Akers, because that team usually uses a true running back. Like Sean McVay wants one guy a lot of the time. So I'm so on the fence with Cam because if he is that guy, man, that offense is going to be so good this year. All right, we're going to take Isaiah McKenzie just in case he wins that job in Buffalo. All right, so I'm going to be live for just a couple more minutes here, and then I'm going to hop off because this draft is over. So go ahead and get your last questions in here. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. Hit that follow button. Get notified when I go live. Also, go check out the draft guide. Link is in the bio. There's over 20 pages of written up content, over 20 pages of player rankings. So go check that out. Link is in the bio. All that happy fun stuff. Go get in the Discord. That's also in the bio as well. We're closing in on 5,000 people in that Discord. 5,000 people. Do a ton of mock drafts, so go get in the Discord. Burks or Woods? Burks. 3rd overall move. Either Jay Jettis, Cup, CMC. Would you rank JT at RB4? No way he can produce it again. Nah, he's my RB1. I don't think he can. I don't think he'll finish. There's a chance that he doesn't finish his RB1, but the thing with JT, he's 23 years old. He's an absolute stud running back with really no injury past whatsoever. So I'm fine on him. Why Javonte over Lenny? Honestly, I just went Javonte this time. I have Leonard Fournette higher. I just decided to go with kind of different players that I don't usually go in this draft. I don't really take Javonte Williams that much. So I figured I would just take a shot on him. Fire, you'll appreciate you. Thoughts on Watson and Miles Sanders? Not really interested in either. Definitely not interested for redraft purposes on Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's going to sit on your bench for the first 11 weeks, probably honestly for the first 13 weeks, because it's going to take him a couple of weeks to get back up to speed. Like in the preseason game, he looked a bit sloppy. Now he wasn't playing with Amari Cooper, but still, I think it's going to take a couple of games, so no interest whatsoever. And Miles Sanders, depending on where he goes, like I saw him go in the 8th round. I would take him in the 8th round in a redraft league. Evans or Tyreek? I would take Evans. Evans over Tyreek for me. Rather take Russell Wilson or wait on Trey Lance? Wait on Trey Lance for me. I'd rather have Trey. Is this PPR or non-PPR? I always do PPR. I usually base all my opinions in half-point PPR. Trey Lance, the guy. Where would you? What was that one? Where do you think ETN goes, and how do you feel about reaching for a guy if you really want him? Always reach for a guy that you really want. All right. Well, I don't want to say always, but if it's like, say he's gonna go, say usually he goes maybe like 6 picks later, who cares? Just get the guy because he's not getting back to you. Now, don't reach for a guy like a say you're absolutely in love with Tony Pollard. Don't reach for him in the 5th round. Like that's stupid. But if he's going to go like maybe his ADP is, maybe 8 picks later, well, he's not going to get back to you. So just get your guy. And Travis Etienne to me is honestly worthy of a mid 3rd round draft pick in PPR formats. Like if you're not sure, if you really think that there's a good chance that a guy's not going to get back to you, then just get him. If you love him, don't get a guy that you're really not. Say you're not crazy about AJ Brown, but you love. Say like here, right? Where does? Okay, so say right here, AJ Brown. You're not in love with AJ Brown, but you do love. That's not a good example because there is a good chance. Yeah, we'll F it. We'll say Mike Will. Nah, we'll say something else. Okay, so just say Mike Will. There is a chance that Mike Will could come back though, but there is also a chance. This is usually where Mike Will is going. He's usually going in the early 4th round. So like, F it, take your shot. I don't think that there's that big of a difference between Mike Will and AJ Brown this year. You know what I mean? So just take your shot on a guy that there's a chance he doesn't come back to you. ETN the 4th. Nah, I'm taking ETN the 3rd. Easy. I'm not worried about James Robinson, to be honest with you. I think James Robinson's kind of toast. Hill or Lamb? Lamb. Deontay or Pittman? Pittman. It's tough to drive. Yeah. Your growth over the last month or two has been crazy. It has been. I've been grinding. I'm grinding. All right, so I'm gonna hop off. I'll be live tomorrow, answering questions, going live again. So make sure you hit that follow button, get notified when I go live. Also, once again, go check out the draft guide. If you want one-on-one advice from me as well, go check that out. Link is in the bio. I offer one-on-one advice. Talk about your upcoming draft. Kind of go round by round what you're thinking. Talk about your scoring. What are some strategies you can implement? All that kind of stuff. So go check that out. Link is in the bio. Draft guide, over 20 pages of written up content, over 20 pages of player rankings. So go check that out. Appreciate you all for hanging out. Make sure you drop a follow button. I'll be live tomorrow answering your fantasy football questions. So peace out, people. Have a great night. Take care.